the Apothecary Draft House on the Square here in Jacksonville, Alabama. Glad you're with us. I'm Eli Gold on this Monday evening, and we welcome you inside for another edition of Jack State Live and the Rich Rodriguez Show. And we've got an interesting show for you this evening. We're going to be covering all different aspects of activities here at Jacksonville State. We're going to open up talking about cheerleading. The cheer coach is with us, Brent Langston. We'll learn all about the world of cheer, or some of that, as we go. Rich Rodriguez, of course, will be here with us at the top of the hour at 7 o'clock. Then we'll touch quickly on men's basketball. Ray Harper is going to check in. He is the head basketball coach for the men's team. And, of course, the season is just around the corner. We'll be talking with him as we crank it up here this evening. Couple of quick news items to pass along from the university. The defending champions in the bowling world are at the top of the 2024-25 preseason coaches poll. That release coming the other day from the National 10-Pin Coaches Association. Jacksonville State's men's tennis team had an impressive showing this weekend at the Mercer Classic. That one is kicking off their season. The Gamecocks claimed 34 wins out of 45 total matches. That includes, of course, doubles and singles. Jacksonville State wrapped up its first weekend on the road in Conference USA play by gaining a point after a scoreless draw in soccer with Western Kentucky. That one was at the Hilltoppers Soccer Complex. Jacksonville State on the volleyball court lost on Friday and Saturday to Liberty College. The match highly competitive throughout the entire weekend. The Gamecocks getting set to return home. They'll be hosting Kennesaw State, the Owls, both tomorrow and again on Wednesday afternoon. And speaking of volleyball, a couple of notes. The honors kept rolling in for a couple of the top ladies for the Jacksonville State volleyball team. First, Brooklyn Schiffley, the senior libero, reached the 1,000 dig mark in Saturday's match. She was only 20 away, and she picked up 19 in one match and many, many more in the next to get herself over the 1,000 dig mark. And also, Williams picking up, that's Kayla Williams, picking up her best game of her tenure here at Jack State on Saturday, as she set career highs in single game kills, kill percentage, hit percentage, and service aces. On the soccer pitch, the Jacksonville State soccer team dropping their first Conference USA road match of the year. They lost 3-0 at Middle Tennessee. And we mentioned with basketball not far away, and we'll touch on it again a bit later on when the coach joins us, season tickets for Jack State men's and women's basketball now on sale. You can just go to different web locations, go to the Jack State website, however it's easiest for you, and get yourself set with all sorts of seats, including courtside seating available for select games in a limited capacity. So lots going on sports-wise here at Jack State University. But when we come back, we're going to learn about cheerleading. We're going to talk with the man who's in charge of the cheer team. That's going to be Brent Langston. He is himself a former cheerleader, a former mascot. We'll talk all about it. That's when we continue on Jack State Live and the Rich Rodriguez Show. We're at the Apothecary Draft House here in Jacksonville.
What can you buy for $10? A hat? A milkshake? 166 channels plus live sports? That's right, for only $10 you can get 166 channels of classic TV shows and movies, including the latest news update from all around the world and local sports. Just simply go to 24ctn.com and click download, and then for only $10 you can have access to the best TV available.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
Back here at the Apothecary Draft House on the square in Jacksonville, Alabama. I'm Eli Gold, and we're joined by our first guest of the evening, who is going to educate me a good bit tonight. He is Brent Langston. He is the cheer coach. He's been here at Jack State in different capacities for 12 years and just started his 6th year as the coach of the cheer team. Good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am well. Great to have you with us. Just pick that microphone up just a little bit there. That's wonderful, so the folks at home can hear you loud and clear. You know, this is not anything I've done. I'm not a cheerleader, never have been. But whatever kids do and are dedicated to in such a way, I have respect for it. But I don't understand it. Maybe that's the best way to put it.
Totally fine.
So many people don't think of cheerleading as a sport. What do they and I need to know to change our ideas?
Come to a practice.
Okay.
That's what I would say. A lot of people think that we just kind of show up at games and, you know, do our cheers and do our thing. But what we're really striving for is to, you know, make our tumbling better, increase our stunning skills, all that to lead up to when we compete in April. And a lot of people don't realize that we go to competition in April at Daytona Beach and compete. And that's a hard thing to work the full year for 2.5 minutes of glory and then be done with it. But yeah, we're in the weight room, working out, we're in the gym, increasing our skills and everything, just like any other sport. Mm-hmm. Just trying to get better at our craft.
Do you recruit the men and women to come here and be members of the cheer team? Do you go out and watch high school cheer groups and try and get them to come here? How do you do that?
So that's interesting because in Alabama, it's not as big as it is in Georgia. And with us constantly going, right, it's hard to get over there sometimes. And I'm always judging competitions. I'm judging tryouts, this and that.
Right.
But what we do is we do what we call stunt and tumble clinics. And that's when we post it on our social media. Hey, come stunt and tumble with our cheerleaders, you know, get to meet them. And we teach them stuff that maybe they didn't know in the first place. Making things simple, all that, and getting to meet the team and being able to make those connections if they're wanting to try out.
There are many coaches who we talk to who don't necessarily recruit from the high school level. They go to clubs and so on and so forth. Do you go and watch competitions that are outside of the standard school cheers at a game?
If the opportunity presents itself, 100%. I'm always looking, especially for guys. I mean, it's a hard deal because a lot of people, again, they just don't realize what we do, and they just think we go out there and shake pom-poms and do whatever. But we're always stunning. We're always tumbling. We're always trying to make ourselves better at our craft. And that's the biggest point I can say where I'm trying to recruit from, is because girls are always going to want to do it. I have a really good squad, and I kind of I take pride in knowing, friendliest campus in the South.
Right.
But I meet these kids who's been to Ole Miss cheer clinics, wherever, right? That's a big one. And, they just may say, it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel at home. And I pride myself on being able to have those kids come back and say they enjoyed the clinic and they love the college and want to come here.
You had never cheered?
Nope.
Before you came here?
Not one time, ever.
What turned you on to it?
I was actually, my first year, my freshman year, I was mascotting. Tried out for mascot my second year. Hey, Cocky. Cocky's waving at me.
Hey, Cocky.
So tried out for mascot first year, made it. Tried out second year. And my now supervisor, I think we were at a clinic or something. She had walked over to me and said, hey, go over there and toss that girl up and catch her feet. And if I remember correctly, she was 87 pounds.
Really?
And at that time, she was a college, and I was like, there's no way they make adults that small. And sure enough, I went over there. It took me a few times. I did it, and she said, you're a cheerleader now. And I said, do I get the same scholarship as I did as a mascot? She said, yep. I said, I'll do whatever you want me to. And that led into 4 years of cheering and 3 years in competing. And I guess you could say, yes, Cocky is very well known, but nobody knew that I was doing it, and now I'm here. So kind of a full circle crazy moment.
Yeah. We're going to come back. I want to talk about Cocky here in a moment or so and learn a little bit about he or she or whoever is inside the costume. We're visiting with Brent Langston. He is the cheer coach at Jacksonville State University. We're spending time tonight on Jack State Live. We're at the Apothecary Draft House, and we return right after this.
I need to try it first.
The Civilian Marksmanship Program, also known as CMP, is a national organization dedicated to training and educating U.S. citizens in responsible uses of firearms and air guns through gun safety training, marksmanship training, and competitions. Their vision is to lead the nation in marksmanship excellence, providing safe, high-quality, and innovative programs with a focus on youth. For more information about the CMP and upcoming events, visit thecmp.org.
Eli Gold here, ready for a winning drive? Go see my friends at Cooper Chevy Buick. Choose from hundreds of new Chevys and Buicks, including a great selection of Car Bravo certified used. Score big with low finance rates and ask about their guaranteed credit approval program. Get top dollar for your trade, no matter the yardage. Your road to victory starts today at Cooper Chevrolet Buick in Anniston or online, cooperchevrolet.com. Official sponsor of JSU Athletics.
Grub Mart and Young Oil, serving East Alabama for over 80 years. Come into one of our many locations throughout East Alabama and try our Joe Bell's coffee along with some Olio's donuts. From Center to Jacksonville to Auburn and everywhere in between, Grub Mart is here for you.
I need to try it first.
We continue on this Monday night here at the Apothecary Draft House. In Jacksonville, Alabama, Eli Gold, Brent Langston alongside. He is the cheer coach. And Ed from Florence is on the phone. Hey, Ed, good evening. With a telephone. Nice of you to call in, sir.
Sounds
We
like it.
appreciate it. You mentioned Cocky, excuse me, as I did before the break. How does he fit in? How is he selected as the mascot?
So the biggest thing is, I mean, with me, when I first tried out, I was actually told by someone who worked at the university that I would be a good fit for it.
And you were Cocky.
That was me,
Yeah.
freshman year. And I had never mascotted before anything. They just told me I had the personality to do it. And I was like, okay, what do I do? Basically, did the tryout, everything, made it, whatever. But that's really what I look for, too, is just those people who have that personality that's out there, right? They're in your face. Like, that's what makes a good mascot, right? They're always doing things. They're always performing. They're always kind of bothering people sometimes if they want to.
Do they do that naturally, or does the costume allow them to do that?
A little bit of both. Really, it's, well, yeah. He's just, Cocky's cocky, right?
Yeah.
Once you put that suit on, it's unreal, right? You can do not whatever you want to, but within the boundaries, right?
Sure.
You're constantly performing. It's always a performance of being that being, right?
Yeah, and very interesting. How does your squad do in the classroom? Are they held to the same standards as student athletes of other ilk?
I would like to think so. We make our freshmen go to study hall. Any transfers, we make them go to study hall. We make sure they're in there. And not to throw any other sport under the bus, but we have heard that we are the best group in study hall. So
Really?
that's what I've been told by the people who are at study hall.
Do they
So
celebrate
don't shoot
by
the messenger.
do they celebrate by tumbling?
If they do, sure.
Yeah, I
Let
agree.
them do it. I don't mind. But in all seriousness, too, I hold it to a very high standard, mainly because that's what you're here to do. And they hear
Sure.
me say this all the time. You're a student athlete, not an athlete student. You are here to get a degree. I have 2 degrees from here. I love this place. That's what you're here to do. And cheering is fun to do as well, but that's what you're here to do.
Your squad, I know, is involved in many different elements in the community. Where do you go? What different type of events do you attend?
Really, anything where the university is asking us to. Some of my girls were just at Kitty Stone Elementary. It's one of the elementary schools here. I think they were saying the kids asked them to dance and high-five them and all that. And we
Really?
we just do it, right? We'll go to schools and read to the kids. There's so many things. Like this year, we went to Legacy Village, put on a pep rally for them.
Right.
They love doing that. And then, anything for the university.
The formations and routines that we see the ladies and gentlemen perform, is there a choreographer on staff? Are you it? Are they their own choreographers?
So when we do nationals routines, I appoint someone to be the choreographer.
Someone from the staff?
No, it's just me. And I will reach out to any choreographers who may have done, a winning routine that year maybe. Someone I know personally, whatever. Someone who has a good track record, right. To come in, because I am not a choreographer. I will tell you that much right now. I am strictly a cheer coach. I'll leave the choreography to the professionals.
Looking back and talking to folks, because I really did not follow this for many years, I know that at one time the roster was like 40 strong on the cheer squad. Now it's around 25 or so. Why the difficulty in getting people to participate?
It's I like to think now, and I hate to bring it up, after 2020, it was just it was hard to get people to kind of get back going, right? And I've seen that across really every sport, and even the marching ballerinas here, because I'm close with their coordinator. And we got to talking one day, and she said that this was this is the biggest squad I had, but this was also the smallest tryout I had. And then Noelle, the marching ballerinas coordinator, she also had a very small tryout. And I don't know about any other sport, but I found that interesting, especially this year, because we're so far removed from that. But it's tough. But I'm always trying to make the squad grow, and the more the merrier, because the more people we have, the louder we're going to be. So. And
you said it's tougher to get men than it is to get the ladies to participate.
Much harder, because if you're like me, you're kind of like, okay, like what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I can actually kind of pick on my brother a little bit, because he was in that situation when I first got started. My coach was asking me, do you have any siblings? And it's like, yes. He said, you got a brother? Mm-hmm. And he kept hounding me. Oh, you should get him to try out. You should get him to try out. I said, he's not going to do it. I straight up told him, he's not going to do it. And after about the 15th or 16th time he bothered me about it, and I bothered my brother about it, he said, I'll try it out. And when he tried it, he said, I love this.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. We're coming back. We're spending time with Brent Langston. He is the cheer coach. Coming up at the top of the hour, football coach Rich Rodriguez. And then at 7:30 Central Time, we'll be joined by Ray Harper, the men's basketball coach. Busy night tonight here at the Apothecary Draft House as we are live in Jacksonville, Alabama.
Whether it's family for dinner or game time, it's time for Johnson's Giant Foods Deli. All you have to do is drop by Johnson's Giant Foods and grab whatever you want, hot and ready to go. Chicken salad and chicken fingers to die for. Savory ribs, salad, dessert, you name it. It's waiting for you and your family or friends. Johnson's Giant Foods with 5 locations in Gadsden, Atala, Jacksonville, and Coldwater.
From our earliest beginnings, Taylor Real Estate Solutions has been a part of the JSU community, serving as Jack State's premier property management partner, but our service extends far beyond management. With over 30 years combined real estate expertise, we are your team for buying and selling real estate. Our knowledgeable agents will guide you through buying and selling process with confidence and ease.
Taylor Real Estate Solutions, Jacksonville's hometown real estate team.
Serving East Alabama for over 20 years, Samco is your local convenient, clean, and friendly gas station. Fill up your tank with gas, diesel, or your favorite snacks and drinks. Samco has 48 locations to serve you in Calhoun, Etowah, Marshall, Talladega, and Cleburne counties. Samco is a proud community leader in giving back to help support local schools in East Alabama. For your convenient, clean, and friendly gas station needs, it's Samco.
The Point at JSU is an off-campus student housing property located a half a mile away from Jacksonville State University. The Point offers fully furnished, pet-friendly, 2 bedrooms and 4 bedroom units. Resident experience is our #1 priority, therefore we do offer the following amenities: a resort-style pool, fitness center, basketball and volleyball court, and dog park. We would love for you to come see our property, so give us a call at 256-376-8317 to schedule a tour today.
Another few moments from the Apothecary. We're spending time with Brent Langston. He is the cheer coach at JSU. This is Jack State Live, the Rich Rodriguez Show, coming up in just a short while. I was watching Cocky going around and ingratiating himself to everybody here, or herself. I have no idea, but whatever it is. Now, what are the rules here? I mean, you can't. One thing I do notice is that the mascots don't speak to folks out and about, huh?
That is right. And that is a good question, because I hear a lot of that. The question of, is Cocky a he or a she? Cocky is a he. See, he's flexing right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, rule number 1, cannot talk. Cannot talk. And just have fun. That's the biggest thing. Get in the suit, have fun.
Yeah. You're going to be competing, you said, in Daytona at the NCAA Nationals in April. What will be the overall scope of that? Who all competes? Is it every school in the country? Who's involved?
So there's teams that go UCA, there's teams that go NCAA. You just pick one and go. You have to have a camp by the staff to come in and, give you a camp, or you attend camp, whatever. But I think we had, off the top of my head, I think we competed against 15 last year.
Really?
And it was interesting because it was some cheer squads we actually play other sports against. New Mexico State was there, I believe.
Right.
So it just depends on whatever they want to do that year. And yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time.
Well, listen, I appreciate you joining us here tonight, because I have learned a lot, and I will say I didn't know anything about cheerleading. Believe it or not, I was never thrown in the air and caught by somebody, but nevertheless, I wish you the best. I thank you for educating all of us here this evening, and all the best to the men and the ladies and the foul over here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, take care. That is Coach Brent Langston. Brent is the head coach of the cheer team at Jacksonville State. When we come back, Rich Rodriguez joins us. We preview Jack State and New Mexico State as we return right after this.
At Southern States Bank, we pride ourselves on being your bank. We're your neighbors and involved in the community. We're the bank featuring the Southern Rewards checking account, a cashback account with no ATM fees. We are on the cutting edge and always have a smiling face to help you out. So come to Southern States Bank, where we are committed to great service and being a great neighbor. Let us be the bank for you and your business.
Hello everyone, Tony Russell, General Manager of Sonny King Ford. And boy, do we have unbelievable markdown on used cars that you do not want to miss. It's time to make the best deal on a used car. Shop our wide selection of used trucks and premium pre-owned models. Don't wait another day. Come by and see me, Tony Russell, and let's make a custom deal for you. Find great savings on pre-owned used cars at Sonny King Ford on the sunny side of the street, Anniston, Oxford.
At Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
Hi everybody, I'm Eli Gold, and I want to invite you to tune in to Jack State Live, a look at the campus and athletic department at Jack State, followed by the Coach Rich Rod Show, where we will break down and preview the next football game for the Gamecocks.
Hey everybody, I'm Bill Bubba Bussey, one of the assistant athletic directors here at Jack State and the director of broadcasting. We always want you to come out to the games. There's nothing that can replace the sights, sounds, and interaction of being at a football game. But if you can't make it, we offer several options to bring the action to you. Many of the Jack State games are broadcast nationally on TV. The other home games we produce in-house and can be seen on ESPN Plus streaming platform, hosted by legendary broadcaster Eli Gold. If you're driving or have your hands full, we also offer radio coverage through the Gamecock Radio Network. The coverage you hear from the voice of the Gamecocks, Mike Paris. Mike has put you in the middle of some of the biggest and best moments in Jack State history for over 40 years. You can find more information at jackstatesports.com. And for now, enjoy the game and go Gamecocks!
Welcome back. There's a great look at Amherst Stadium on the campus of Jacksonville State University. A beautiful facility, upgraded and updated this year. Brand new turf, new suites along the far sideline as you look over to your right. And of course, the brand new football building. And that is our home on Monday evenings. The Apothecaries Draft House here on the square. Coach Rich Rodriguez is here, fresh off a road win. Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's great to see our cheer team. Believe it or not, I don't know a whole lot more than you probably about cheer, but my daughter Raquel was a cheerleader. And
out in Arizona.
Yeah, 4 years. And it was, you talk about nerve-wracking. You know, she was like captain of the team, but you still had a tryout every year.
Really?
So Miss Rita and I would go to the tryouts, and I don't think I was more nervous than anybody. I was just watching. I hope she hits all her stunts and, you know, all her moves and all that kind of stuff. But it was, you know, so she did a great job, really enjoyed it. I think a great experience. And I know our folks here do a super job, so we really appreciate it.
They really do. And you got to be in great shape. I mean, just tossing a body around and catching them and this, that, and the other. It's not easy.
Yeah, and I mean, when it's 100 and some on the turf for us, it's 100 and some on the turf for them as well. So we really appreciate their efforts.
Definitely. And how about your efforts on Friday night? I'm telling you, you guys ran wild and totally ruined that home date for Kennesaw State.
Yeah, any win, it's tough to win, period. But you know, to get one on the road, and they had a pretty good atmosphere and you know, pretty athletic team. You know, in the first half we had some good moments, but it was really disappointed toward the end of the second quarter. We kind of let them back in it a little bit, but there was no panic at the halftime. It wasn't no, you know, somebody thought I'd make the paint peel off the walls or something. I yelled just a little bit just to make myself feel better. But other than that, it was just a couple adjustments. And you know, I thought the key was in the second half, we got the ball first, and then we took it down there and scored. So that gave us the momentum back.
Went on to win it 63-24. And, you know, there were so many things the team did well. The offensive stats, the intercepts, the run backs, everything seemed to click.
Yeah, we were able to move the ball and have some, you know, control the tempo a little bit. I don't know what I'm not a big stats guy. I thought it was 30 or 31 first downs, and that's always a big key for us. And when we get more than 25, we're kind of controlling the tempo with our offense. Whenever you can do that, you got a great chance to win.
That was a season high, 31 first downs. And then you look the other side, you know, defensively you played well. You take a look at some of these teams, they'll go 1 for 10 in third down conversions and stuff like that. When you've got the offense clicking and the defense clicking, it's tough not to win.
Well, the biggest key for us to controlling the tempo offensively is getting some 3-and-outs or turnovers on defense. And in the last couple games, we've gotten some 3-and-outs. We've gotten a couple big turnovers. And, you know, when you could get the momentum going that way, it makes a big difference.
58% on third down conversions.
Yeah, and the best way to get those are to have them short yardage. So we had a couple short yardage ones, and we had a little you know, things going on the running game, so it worked.
Trey Stewart, a little something going on the running game, averaged 5.6 yards a carry.
He's continued to, you know, it's his first year in the system, but he's a veteran guy, so he's got a natural feel for it. But he's getting better every week, just understanding how our plays develop, how our runs, where he's supposed to press in the run game, and so. And he's a really good blocker as well. So he's a whole entire package, and you know, we're going to count on him the rest of the year.
Folks, if you'd like to join our conversation, it is a phone call you can make easily, 256-369-1688. That's 256-369-1688. If you'd like to chat with Coach Rich Rodriguez. You know, Jack State is the only Conference USA team to eclipse 300 rushing yards in a game this season. If you had your druthers, if you could win either way, would you rather be a running team or a passing team?
No, fair question. I think I'd rather just score points.
Yeah.
You know, early in my career when we first started building this offense, this is, I don't know, 25, 30 years ago at Glenville, we were probably 65% pass, and we were shotgun, no huddle, but we were throwing it all the time. And then the running game kind of developed, and we started using some quarterback runs. And it found out when you can run the ball, you know, it obviously keeps the other team off the field longer, but it gives it's a lot more of a momentum boost. It's just, if you can't stop the run, I know this from, if our defense is not stop and run, it's just miserable, you know. So, you know, we always kind of start there and see what we can do to run the ball, including running the quarterback, and then If they force us to throw, we got to be able to throw. And that's the thing. I think we're better now, and we got to continue to get better. When they force us to throw, because they can force you to throw,
sure,
you got to be able to complete some big passes.
Of course, when they force you to throw, Tyler Huff can throw and he can run. That's a nice double whammy to have.
He's a sneaky runner. You know, he's a tough guy, an athletic guy, but he's also kind of got a little bit of a knack. Some people just have a knack, and Trey Stewart has that same thing. Got a little bit of a knack on how to, not give his whole body up a little bit and get a chance to get some extra yards. And that's, and he's got decent speed too. So, he's run really, really well so far.
And he's right now the only guy in FBS competition who is in the only quarterback who's in the top 25 in passing and rushing.
He's played well, and he's continued to grow a little bit. And, it's going to be a long season, so we're going to need those other quarterbacks as well. But, I couldn't be any more pleased with Tyler's performances first year in our program, or not only year.
Yeah. We're visiting with Coach Rich Rodriguez. Of course, Jacksonville State 2 up and 3 down. They're 1-0 in conference play, getting set to meet New Mexico State's Aggies this weekend, or excuse me, this week. It's always a tough habit to break.
You'll find out that you're going to be like us. It's like, what day is it?
Exactly. How do you shorten up the week? I mean, you played just the other day.
Yeah, the 5-day window is the hardest. We've had a couple of those in the past, and the hard part is that if you're on the road and coming back, you're getting back late, and so we had no practice in pads, and both the practices we had were in shorts, and they were probably an hour and a half in length at most, because you got to get their guys' legs back. So, I think they were pretty well focused. Tried to make sure their legs were fresh for Wednesday night, but it's a quick turnaround, and you got to, not only for your players, but for your coaches and your game plan and all that kind of stuff. So, but it's unique, and we've dealt with it before.
And there you see the schedule to this moment, and looking ahead, New Mexico State coming up Wednesday night. Then the following week, Wednesday night, Middle Tennessee. The following week, Wednesday night, at Liberty. So it's going to be a tough stretch. Then you get back to the Saturdays down the stretch. But, once at least if you play every Wednesday, you can make a Wednesday becomes a Saturday.
Last year's schedule was really, I think we had a 5-day window, then a 6-day window, then a 6-day window, and 7. And this one is not as challenging as that. But what you have to do, I've said this before, the biggest challenge is not that Wednesday is your Saturday. It's your Saturday is now a Wednesday or a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And your players got to adjust academically. Of course, there's always a little bit hard. We take some academic counselors on the road, and like tomorrow when we take our guys, the travel squad, to the hotel, we'll have some academic counselors there too, because they're going to miss some schoolwork, and we don't want them to get too far behind.
So what do? They go into a meeting room, a board room in the hotel?
We have rooms they meet in. A lot of classes nowadays are either online or they're more assignment-based, but you still got to make sure your guys are doing assignment. So, I haven't heard any. It's tougher, and that's not their responsibility to handle that, but it is a bigger challenge when you have all these midweek games, particularly if they're missing the in-person classes. That's the hardest part that we get caught up on.
You know what I found interesting? The folks, you see that phone number if you're watching on the TV side, 256-369-1688. And that number also works for those of you who are on radio at 256-369-1688. Coach, we've got a questioner right here at the apothecary before we take another question from me. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Hey, doing great, guys.
Good.
Coach, couple of things. First of all, I'm probably the only guy, but I'm a mathematician, statistician, JSU grad that's worked with NASA for 38 years. I follow you closely. You should be very, very happy with that performance Friday night. And I was so excited looking at things. But then and in terms of performance, I could give you the metrics on that. But my thing is this, looking at your quarterback and looking at how hard it is for us to recruit that type of player. I mean, do you go out and say, all right, I'm going to find some more fifth-year FCS players to fill those slots? Because we've got to find a formula for success. And is that one? I don't know on that.
That's it's a very good point, and that's, I think, all college coaches nowadays are looking at. Before it was kind of understood. All right, you're going to find the best players you can get out of high school. If they're not quite ready, you redshirt them and then develop them. And by their junior, sophomore, junior, senior year, they've got really good players. And now, if we get a guy and we think we're going to develop him, we're going to develop him for a Power 5 team, right? Because somebody's going to go pie him.
Yeah.
You know, Power 5 teams are taking starting group of 5 linemen as their third teamers and giving them $100,000 a year. So it's a whole different dynamic, and it's frustrating at times. But I told the coaches, the goalposts to move, we got to move with it. I think in this day and age, you know, I would rather, if you had your druthers, I'd rather have more high school guys, maybe a couple of junior college guys, and maybe just some impact transfer guys, like a quarterback. I think you got to have a quarterback here. You got no chance to win. And so we kind of loaded up on quarterbacks. But the formula's constantly changing. I think it's going to change again. I think the NCAA is about to probably put a 105 limit on it right now on a number of players on your team. And whether you want a scholarship or not, that's up to you. So you're basically going to eliminate walk-ons. I don't know if that's good for us or bad for us, because kids that maybe have walked on to Georgia or Alabama maybe not have that opportunity now. Now we may be able to get them. So the whole formula in recruiting, we talked about this just the other day, is we got to look at what kind of players can we get at Jack State, and what kind of players can we get and keep. And that's the key to us going forward. But your culture and your program has to stay constant. That's the one thing that we won't change. And I'm probably too bullheaded to change anyway, but we're not going to, oh gosh, we can't coach him hard because we're afraid he'll get mad and leave. If that's the guy, if that's who he is, then he ain't gonna make it here anyway. So
I want to follow, if I can, Eli.
Sure.
Tell me how you got Huff.
Yeah, I think we talked about it a little bit before, and fortunately, because I've been running a similar offense for 30 years, I kind of know about, a lot of guys are hard to evaluate on film, right? And so if you're projecting high school guys, it's really hard because he's playing against high school guys. When you're projecting college guys, it's a little easier because he's playing against good competition. Well, you know, we wanted to get an older quarterback, a veteran guy, you know, to come in and compete for it. Well, the first thing I saw with Tyler was when he played against South Carolina, who we played last year. And I remember watching the game, and I said, this little quarterback from Furman's got some stuff to him. You know, he's pretty good. And didn't know if he was going to go in the portal, didn't know anything about that. And then when the season went over and he got in the portal, we had a list of 4 or 5 guys that we looked at that were guys that, man, this guy kind of fits what we do, and I could kind of, and it's against college competition, good competition. Well, we had one guy committed, and then he got bought by a Power 5 guy because there's no letter of intent to sign, so he committed, and then he got bought and went somewhere else. So I'll say, where we go the next one? And Tyler was still out there, but he wasn't getting hammered as much because he was hidden in Fort Huachuca, Arizona, doing his military service. And so not a lot of people went to him. I think I was the only head coach that went out to Fort Huachuca. It gave me a reason to go to Miss Rita to Arizona, but it also gave me a reason to take him and his wife out to Applebee's, and that sealed the deal. I don't remember what they had, but whatever it was a good meal, and he committed that night, and we were good to go. So.
And thank you for your question, sir. You. And of course, he was, you know, let's not forget, he was a Southern Conference Player of the Year. He's got all sorts of accolades.
You know, I always say it's funny because a buddy of mine that was a GM in the NFL, we were talking about how we recruit and how they draft, and he said, this is what I do. He said, we look for players in college that make a lot of plays in college because they'll probably make a lot of plays in the NFL. And I said, what's the same thing for us? If I want to find a guy that makes plays in college, find a guy that makes plays in high school, or junior college.
Sure.
Or now, if you're going to recruit a quarterback, if you have one that's made a lot of plays, whether it's in 1AA or like he did in good competition, well, he's probably going to make plays for you. So that part, the quarterback, sometimes people say it's hard to recruit. I think quarterbacks are easier to recruit because you can see where the guy is. You know, I know my old buddy Mike Leach passed away a little bit. We talked about that one time. It was like, what do you look for in a quarterback? And, you know, he runs a different system. He looks at completion percentage.
Sure.
He said, if a guy can't complete 60-some% of his passes, especially short passes, whatever, he said, I ain't going to recruit him because he ain't going to complete him for me. And so we look at different dynamics.
It's a style of play, though.
Style of play. Our guys got to be able to run a little bit. Can he make the throws we want him to throw? Does he have a command about him? And, you know, is he accurate?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people coaches say, well, I can coach the accuracy, or I can teach the accuracy. I don't know. I mean, when you get to that level, I like people say, how do you teach them? I don't teach them how to throw. If they can't throw, I don't recruit them.
Yeah.
You know, they learned how to throw by somebody else when they're growing up. I mean, I want to teach them our system. not have to how to throw the ball.
When you said before you're not that big on statistics, although you're obviously cognizant of them, are you big on these analytics now that are
I think I think there is a lot to it, but I think there's also a feel for it. Like we're a little riskier, probably fourth down wise. And, some of it is, do you feel you can run the ball on them? So if you think you can run the ball on them, then going for it and 4th and 1 ain't a big deal. But there is a lot more. Some people just strictly rely on analytics. I don't have anybody in charge of it, but I've studied it a little bit, and we look at it, and I just have more of a feel for whether we should go for it or not go for it, or what you're going to do. I see some guys doing they could be a little reckless at times too.
Sure.
But
how is Lane Kiffin nowadays?
Yeah, Lane will go, but Lane can be a little more reckless because one, he knows he can run the ball a little bit, but also he's got some pretty good dudes on the defensive line if they don't get it,
Yeah, exactly right. We're coming right back, folks. Don't go away. Visiting tonight with Coach Rich Rodriguez. That's continuing right after this as Jack State Live and the Rich Rodriguez Show are on the Gamecocks Sports Network.
Can you buy for $10 a hat, a milkshake, 166 channels plus live sports? That's right, for only $10 you can get 166 channels of classic TV shows and movies, including the latest news update from all around the world and local sports. Just simply go to 24ctn.com and click download, and then for only $10 you can have access to the best TV available.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero-turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
Welcome back, everybody. We continue from the Apothecary Draft House here this evening. This is Monday night. It means it's the Rich Rodriguez Show, and the coach is here. Hey, I got this graphic sent to me today. Did you see this? It is the fastest Gamecocks.
Oh, that's our strength coaches. It's unique that we wear this GPS vest, which it's remarkable how accurate they are as far as how fast they go and how many miles they go and all that kind of stuff. And then, our guys even wear it for the games. Yeah. Which is, I think they like it.
What is it, the catapult unit?
Yeah,
I think.
And we've got about 70 guys that wear them, and we could tell how far they went, and it's pretty good analytics for our strength staff to look at. And then, I think sometimes I'm not sure that the mile per hour is 100% accurate, but it's pretty good. When the guys are going their full speed, they like to have that. And we have I think we have a sign in our weight room, like a 20-plus mile per hour sign. If you reach that, in a game, they get to sign the sign or something like that up. So it's pretty neat stuff.
But that list, for those of you watching on the TV side, you see the speeds that were recorded. Those of you listening on radio, Tyler Huff ran at 22.44 miles an hour, which is impressive. down to the snail-like speed of Travis Franklin at 19.2. You see, they time me with a sundial, so I'm not on that list.
Well, speaking of which, while I'm doing it, I think Miss Rita was probably going a little faster than 22 miles an hour on her way to the game, but she got a flat tire on interstate.
Really?
Yep, and thankfully, our troopers that lead us in the escort, and Trooper Zane, I think,
Officer
Kane from Kennesaw State, all assisted her, changed the tire, got her there in plenty of time. I didn't know anything about it till right before the kickoff, so we appreciate it. We got great officers. I mean, those guys. And the way we win our traffic, you know, it's obviously it's midweek. It's on a Thursday going up on Friday on the game day. There's a lot of traffic on that interstate. Boy, they guided us way through there. So we're very fortunate.
Before we get to the end of our time with you, I know you've got to shorten your visit here this evening, but Tyler Huff, we talked about, named Conference USA Offensive Player of the Week, and the safety, Zachariah Poyser, Defensive Player of the Week. You know, you get those kind of performances, you're going to win.
Yeah, and then we're, you know, it's nice. I think our guys, I want them to get awards. I think it's nice for them to get recognized for their efforts. And there were two guys that played, and they were actually our players of the game, too. Our coaches pick it. If we lose, sometimes we pick a player game, but if we win, we always do. And those guys have played really, really well for the last couple weeks.
What does Tony Sanchez bring in as the head coach of the New Mexico State Aggies?
Yeah, they were very good last year. You know, we lost them in the last second field goal.
Yeah.
You know, went to a bowl game, and Coach Kill was their head coach. He kind of semi-retired, and now he's over helping Vanderbilt. But Tony Sanchez was his top assistant, so he kind of took over. And I've known him for a long time. Very successful high school coach at Bishop Gorman there in Vegas. And I actually had some of his players on my team at Arizona. You know, most of the guys, they didn't lose. They lost a couple guys, and you saw a quarterback, Pavia.
Yes.
You know, advantage. Diego Pavia was a great player. They lost him in the portal and a couple others, but they have a lot of their guys from the team back from last year. Big physical team that play very hard. And so, yeah, and they got different coordinators, so that's a little bit different scheme on offense and defense, but not a whole lot different from the player standpoint.
This past weekend, obviously, there were a number of upsets around college football. What's been the biggest upset that you've ever been involved with?
Geez, I'm trying to think. I would say, and this is going way back, and Miss Rita probably would remember, and I was at Glenville State in 1993, and we had made the NAIA playoffs, and that was a miracle for us to make the playoffs. But then our semifinal game was against Central State, Ohio, and this is back when Central State, Ohio was a powerhouse. I mean, they had first-round draft picks on their team, and there was no way we're going to win that game. And we were hosting the game, and we hosted on a high school field. And when they got off the bus to warm up and thing, I looked at them and I said, I can't let my team look at them. This is not going to be good. But our guy, we had a bunch of little scrappy guys, and it rained really hard, and it was muddy, and it was miserable, and it rained so much, and the field conditions were so bad, it evened things up a little bit.
Really?
And then we got a miracle play at the end of the game, won the game, and went to the national championship. We had no business even winning that game. That was probably the biggest upset. Now, other people thought when we played, when I was at West Virginia, we beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
In 2005. Yeah. So that was, we were an underdog, and that was a big upset, but not nearly as big as Glenville State, Central State, 1993.
You know, when you win, a lot of things have to happen correctly. A lot of things got to work. One of the things I loved watching or seeing on the stat sheet this week, 4 penalties for your team. I mean, a lot of teams have been shooting themselves in the foot this season, and it's happened forever. You guys were disciplined.
Yeah, and there's nothing that makes us angry, or coaches, and I think even our players, to have stupid penalties. Now, some penalties happen. You might get a holding call you don't agree with, or pass interference penalty or something like that. But the undisciplined stuff, the unsportsmanlike conducts, the pre-snap penalties, you know, we've had more this year than we've had in the last couple of years combined, but we're getting better at it, and we pride ourselves on having some discipline, and we're not going to be good enough to make mistakes and beat other people, so we can't beat ourselves.
Yeah, J-Rock Swain made sure that happened too. Right now, those tackles for loss what do you have, like 6 of them over the weekend? That leads Conference USA.
Yeah, J-Rock is one of our most experienced players, loves football. He's there. He's probably one of the leaders on our team without question. And I think he's still learning. He's playing kind of a different role a little bit than the last couple of years and doing a great job with it.
Yeah. And in the win, the Gamecocks recorded, as I mentioned, 8 rushing touchdowns, the 3rd most in Conference USA history. How was it seems, again, I didn't get a chance to see the game. It sounds as though the line play must have been exemplary.
Yeah, and we had a little bit of size there, and we knew we were going to have to run the ball a little bit, and I didn't even realize that we were running that many touchdowns. But Tyler got a couple big plays running, and we were moving the line of scrimmage a little bit. When you can push the line of scrimmage a little bit and play on their grass, you're always going to have a chance to win. And those open up the play action. We had a couple play action passes, a couple RPOs, and things like that. But it starts with the run game.
Quickly update us on injuries. Everybody pretty healthy?
Well, this is probably got the most banged up. Unfortunately, the worst game to have it on a short week.
Yeah.
We have a couple guys that are banged up, a couple offensive linemen. Brock Roby's the most serious. He's questionable, and he's the kind of leader up front. So we're a little concerned with Brock. Got a couple guys banged up on defense. But that's going to happen. And I told a lot of our young guys, some of our freshmen, I said, I don't want you to sit back and think you're going to get redshirted. You can still play 4 games and help us out. But this is a long season. We got all these midweek games coming up. We're going to need the whole roster.
I think Roby coming from Glenville State's probably why he's a favorite of yours too.
Coach Trickett actually recruited him to Glenville, and then I've known Roby since his whole family.
Sure.
So he's one of the leaders on our team and has been really for the last couple of years.
Well, listen, I appreciate you coming in. I know you got to get going here, so we'll let you run. But thanks so much, and we'll see you on Wednesday
night.
Remember, folks, Wednesday night it's the kickoff against
and it's a whiteout. Yeah, so we're whiteout Wednesday.
Check it out. We're coming right back. More with the Rich Rodriguez Show. And on the back end of the program here as well, we'll talk about Jack State Live with head basketball coach Ray Harper. That's next when we return.
I need to try it first.
The Civilian Marksmanship Program, also known as CMP, is a national organization dedicated to training and educating U.S. citizens in responsible uses of firearms and air guns through gun safety training, marksmanship training, and competitions. Their vision is to lead the nation in marksmanship excellence, providing safe, high-quality, and innovative programs with a focus on youth. For more information about the CMP and upcoming events, visit thecmp.org.
Eli Gold here, ready for a winning drive? Go see my friends at Cooper Chevy Buick. Choose from hundreds of new Chevys and Buicks, including a great selection of Car Bravo certified used. Score big with low finance rates and ask about their guaranteed credit approval program. Get top dollar for your trade, no matter the yardage. Your road to victory starts today at Cooper Chevrolet Buick in Anniston or online, cooperchevrolet.com. Official sponsor of JSU Athletics.
Grub Mart and Young Oil, serving East Alabama for over 80 years. Come into one of our many locations throughout East Alabama and try our Joe Bell's coffee along with some Olio's donuts. From Center to Jacksonville to Auburn and everywhere in between, Grub Mart is here for you.
I need to try it first.
Welcome back, everybody. The Apothecary Draft House here on the square in Jacksonville, Alabama. Jack State Live, the Rich Rodriguez Show, all combined as per usual on a Monday night, and we're joined now by a gentleman entering his 9th season as the head coach of the Jack State basketball program, with a record of 146 and 111 at Jack State, but 577 career victories. You must have been doing this a while, huh?
That's what it says. You've been doing it a long time.
Good to see you, Coach.
Good to see you.
Ray Harper is with us. How's things looking? You getting ready to get the season tipped off here? Practice is going in the early infancy of this season's practice. What are you seeing? You like what you see?
We need some more time to try to get ready for that opening game. We've got a lot of new faces. We've been banged up a little bit. We were going to try to do an inter-squad scrimmage this past Saturday, but we didn't have 10 guys to be able to do it. We're waiting on some results of MRIs and that type of thing on a couple of guys. Hopefully it's nothing that's going to keep them out for an extended period of time. But I guess with that said, we do have some talent. I think we've got some options that we didn't have last year. One of the biggest problems last year is we did not shoot the basketball particularly well. And I think we resolved those problems in the offseason.
Folks, if you want to talk a little hoops, give us a call, 256-369-1688. That's 256-369-1688. 10 newcomers. How do you work that in? I mean, that's a huge number.
It's a lot, and we'd prefer it not to be that many on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
But the way the college game is transformed with the portal and NIL, I mean, you're going to see turnover. I mean, it's just it is what it is, and you have to adapt. And I think our guys, our staff did a really good job of identifying some guys in the portal. I mean, I think I'll use Kiki Tandy from last year as an example.
Sure.
He was a kid we'd known for a long time. Freshman year, great year at Xavier, and then got hurt and just kind of got himself out of the mix. We knew if we could get him healthy that he'd have a chance to be a really good player, and that's what he was. He averaged like 19 points a game, first team all-conference, and unfortunately with NIL, I mean, he decided to go elsewhere to play this last year.
That has just got to give a coach gray hair.
Well, I don't blame.
You can't fault a kid.
You really can't.
No.
But we were able to replace him with some guys, and last year he was the only guy that we had that could really shoot the three-pointer. We're going to have multiple guys. I think we got we're a little deeper if we don't have some serious injuries with guys having to miss extended periods of time. But I think we have a little more depth, and we can play different lineups. We messed with a lineup yesterday with our 7-1 kid in the middle and moving Nate Mason 6'11" to the 4. We can play big or we can go small. So I think we can match up with teams in a variety of ways that we couldn't do last year.
Does that did it dictate to you how to play it, or do you have your choice and you try and force feed it?
Well, what we'll try to do is, depending on the game and the opponent, I like to play the matchups, and they always say if they go small, you have to match them. No, you don't. They may have to match you, and I don't know if anyone in our league has a 7'1" to 6'11" that can play together. Our 7'1" kid, he shoots the basketball. He's extremely skilled. He's going to be a good player for us.
We're visiting with the head basketball coach here at Jack State, Ray Harper. Just taking a look as you're talking, I'm taking a look at the schedule, and I never always like to do that, but my goodness, trips to Air Force, Coastal Carolina, East Carolina. You got that big tournament down in Daytona Beach. You got Mizzou on the schedule. It is not an easy schedule by any stretch.
It's not, but I think it'll challenge us and hopefully get us prepared for conference play in January. And, as we did the schedule, we had 2 home games that we were supposed to have this year in North Alabama and Arkansas Little Rock returning games. And we had to push those back for a year. So Come next year, we're going to have a great home schedule. You're going to have South Alabama back at home, those two, Little Rock, North Alabama. I don't even know who else we play, but as we look at our schedule, we're only going to have to play about 2 road games next year.
Really, that'll be good.
It'll be a little different than my first year. I think our first year we played 1 home game, non-conference.
Goodness. Let's talk about some of the individuals that you've got. A lot of transfers coming in from other Division I schools, and that's good. I mean, it's not, I guess, you know, some coaches take transfers from JUCO and from here and there. You've got, I'm just looking at the list here, transfers coming in from the likes of Wichita State and from VMI and from East Carolina and Wake Forest and so on. The names sound impressive.
Well, yeah, and you know, like I'll start with Ben Biella, the kid from East Carolina. You know, he's coming off an injury. He was a first-team junior college All-American. He had committed to Texas Tech. Has a knee injury. Goes to East Carolina. Doesn't have as serious of a knee injury last year, but gets hurt again. And my former assistant was there, knows how we like to play, and just said, you know, I think Ben can really be a good player for you. He's just starting to get healthy, so we think he's going to be a big help to us. Jao Atuka was a freshman of the year in the league when he played at Marist. He averaged about 15 points a game. Goes to Wake Forest, gets hurt. He's starting to round back into form, but he's still not the athlete he was when he was at Marist. If we can get him back to that level, he would be he'd be like a Kiki Tandy challenge for a first-team all-conference type player.
How about Driggers, the kid from Marion?
He's a hard-working kid, just a great teammate, kid that works extremely hard, and we're excited to have him part of our program.
You got some names that the folks know returning. Brigham is back with what? 23, 24 starts last year, so he brings some element of experience back to you.
He does, and we need him to take on more of a leadership role. We need him to be more consistent. You know, there were games that he looked like a first-team all-conference player last season, and there were games where he might get you 6 and 5.
Right.
We need consistency out of him. Anytime kids been in the program 5 years, you know, they just have to have a voice.
Yeah. Do they? I mean, do you have what you've seen so far, is there a leader in the bunch?
You know, that's an area we're still working on.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a couple guys that I think do a decent job, but we've got to do a better job of, you know, with accountability and those type of things. And we're starting to understand what's acceptable and what's not in terms of our practice habits and those type of things. And because we've only, 2 weeks, we're into week 3 now.
Right.
You know, I'm starting to see some strides, but like I said earlier, and I kind of was joking about it, and I kind of wasn't. We still have a ways to go to get where we need to be.
November 4th, though, gets here before you know it, seemingly.
I'm sure the kids will be excited about it. When we look on the board every day, it's 28 days from opening day when we left the locker room today. And we have our first closed scrimmage, I guess, next Sunday. So, you know, it's right around the corner. We're still trying to identify some roles, understanding what our rotations will be. I think that will kind of be an evolving thing throughout the year. We've got a lot of different guys that can play a lot of different roles.
For those who haven't seen you and don't know your likes and dislikes, are you selective in your substitution as far as what I'm saying is one guy, maybe 2 guys, could be 3 guys, or are you one who uses the bench fairly liberally?
It depends on the guys I have on the floor, how they're
I gotcha.
How they're competing. I hate nothing more than you know, not going after a loose ball or missing a defensive rotation. You're going to miss shots. You're going to have some turnovers. Those things happen. But I'm a blue-collar effort guy. If I'm seeing that, I can live with the other types of mistakes. But, you know, I think we're capable of going 10, 11 deep with this group.
Really?
So, absolutely.
Good.
And, what that rotation will look like early, I'm still not sure.
Sure. Visiting with Ray Harper. He is the head basketball coach at Jack State, with the season opening up on the 4th against LaGrange. Let's discuss, and there's the schedule for those of you watching on the TV side. That's the schedule upcoming here in the early going, non-conference play. Those of you who are listening on the radio, you can certainly go to Jack State's website and see the entire schedule for yourself right there. Let's discuss the approach that you take with big men and how you crash the boards and so on. Do you have a lot of that available this year, or still in the learning stages?
We've always been a good rebounding team.
Yeah.
I thought last year we did a really good job of being a good offensive rebounding team. We were good in transition defense. The one guy that's going to really add a dimension to us is Michael Hogue. Michael's a transfer from St. Peter's. He averaged about 9 and 7 for them. I think his biggest game was against Rutgers. He had like 23 and 19 against those guys. But he is just,
he's a load, huh?
He's 6'7", he's 225, he's aggressive. He's going to go after every rebound. He's got a chance to be a really good player for us.
Well, we're going to come back. We've got a lot more to talk about with the coach, but we do need to take a break right here and catch up with a little business. So don't you go away as we continue on Jack State Live. We're spending time with head basketball coach Ray Harper. We're back on the Gamecock Sports Network in just a moment.
Whether it's family for dinner or game time, it's time for Johnson's Giant Foods Deli. All you have to do is drop by Johnson's Giant Foods and grab whatever you want, hot and ready to go. Chicken salad and chicken fingers to die for. Savory ribs, salad, dessert, you name it. It's waiting for you and your family or friends. Johnson's Giant Foods, with 5 locations in Gadsden, Atala, Jacksonville, and Coldwater.
From our earliest beginnings, Taylor Real Estate Solutions has been a part of the JSU community, serving as Jack State's premier property management partner, but our service extends far beyond management. With over 30 years combined real estate expertise, we are your team for buying and selling real estate. Our knowledgeable agents will guide you through buying and selling process with confidence and ease.
Taylor Real Estate Solutions, Jacksonville's hometown real estate team.
Serving East Alabama for over 20 years, Samco is your local convenient, clean, and friendly gas station. Fill up your tank with gas, diesel, or your favorite snacks and drinks. Samco has 48 locations to serve you in Calhoun, Etowah, Marshall, Talladega, and Cleveland counties. Samco is a proud community leader in giving back to help support local schools in East Alabama. For your convenient, clean, and friendly gas station needs, it's Samco.
The Point at JSU is an off-campus student housing property located a half a mile away from Jacksonville State University. The Point offers fully furnished, pet-friendly, 2 bedrooms and 4 bedroom units. Resident experience is our #1 priority, therefore we do offer the following amenities: a resort-style pool, fitness center, basketball and volleyball court, and dog park. We would love for you to come see our property, so give us a call at 256-376-8317 to schedule a tour today.
A good look at the Apothecary Draft House here on the square in Jacksonville, Alabama. You see the phone number for those of you on the TV side, 256-369-1688. Again, if you'd like to join us, for those of you listening in on the radio as well, 256-369-1688. We mentioned earlier, Coach, that season tickets for Gamecock basketball, the men and the women both, are now on sale, and you get good support. The students respond here.
Yeah, I mean, and we've, the bigger the crowd, the better we usually play. And I think that's why in college basketball, home court advantage is such a tremendous thing, because you don't want to go on the road, and that's why you see these Power 5 teams, they very rarely go on the road in November and December, so that's why their record looks like it does sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. It's it can be a little deceiving, but you know, you just go about and do your business. You've been everywhere, and I say that respectfully. Division II, Division I, NAIA, and so on. Where did you have the most fun as a coach?
Coaching?
Yeah.
You talking about? I'm not sure about that one. You know, I've been to some places. We coached at. I coached against Wichita State one year. We played the midnight game on the ESPN, the 24-hour marathon. And I remember walking into the arena.
Was that at the Levitt Arena in Wichita?
It's the one on campus.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we were walking in and. We get to the arena at like 10, and I'm thinking, you know, there's not going to be many people. It's packed at 10 o'clock, and I see little old ladies in their 70s, 80s, and they're drinking beer, and I said, this is going to be a fun night here tonight. It ended up being a great game. We ended up losing a close one, a heartbreaker. I think they went to the Final Four that year with Ron Baker and Fred Van Fleet and that crew. But that was a pretty neat atmosphere. You know, back when we were in OVC, playing at Murray State was always a lot of fun. It was especially when you were able to beat them there. That made it even more fun.
Sure.
But you know, I go back to, I played a long time ago, but my college coach at the University of Texas we talked about coaching. He knew I wanted to coach, and we always had some good trips. And he said, look, if you're going to get beat, get beat somewhere nice.
Go to Hawaii.
Take your kids to Hawaii. Take them on some different places. And I've always adopted that philosophy. We've been to Cancun. We've been to the Bahamas. We're going to Daytona Beach this year. Just somewhere. And I've always seen our teams kind of grow a little bit after that. You know, probably the team, we've been to the NCAA tournament twice since I've been here, and probably the best team that I felt like I had that had a chance to get to the tournament and win games. We fell one game short. We lose 3 games that year. Belmont loses 2, Murray loses 2, and both of those teams went to the NCAA tournament, won games. I think it's the first time in forever that the OVC had 2 teams. And hopefully, you know, Conference USA, we can continue to, because there's some really good basketball programs in this league. If you look at the history of the league, I mean, you've got teams that have won national championships. You've got teams that have been to Final Fours, and New Mexico State was in the Sweet 16 a few years ago. So it's going to be a battle, but, you know, we want to continue to grow this thing, continue to get better.
Where is the strength now in Conference USA?
I think the strength is the depth of the league. I don't think you're going to see any bad teams. I mean, you know, everyone thinks we're going to be bad. I think they're picking us 9th and 10th, and we'll see. I think we have a chance to be better than that. But you know, I understand why they pick us there. You talked about it earlier, all the newcomers.
Sure.
And you know, Western Kentucky returns. I don't know how many starters, 3 starters. But if you look in reality, they lost their last 4 conference games before getting in the tournament and winning 3 straight. Yeah. So if we win any of the last 3 games, you know, we lose Caleb Johnson, which was really hurt us down the stretch. We just didn't have any depth in the backcourt. If we win any of those 3 games, we're going to finish no worse than 5th last season.
Exactly, and that's the one thing people need to remember, and the players need to remember. Are your players ones who need to be picked up by the bootstraps, or are they fairly self-motivating?
A little both. But I'm not opposed to trying to motivate. I kind of like that.
See a little smirk on the corner of your mouth.
Yeah, I mean, hey, but I like some things about this team, but at the same time, I understand that where we have to get better, where we have to grow, where our strengths could be on the defensive side of the ball. If they are, we'll have a chance to be a really good team. Right now, we have too many breakdowns because we try to, I'll use baseball terminology, try to hit too many home runs. You know, we want to make the great play too often, and we just need to keep it simple and be who we are. If we can do that, we'll be okay.
And defense wins championships.
That's what they say. Offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. We got to score the basketball, and we're going to give these kids some freedom to showcase their abilities on the offensive side of the ball if they keep it simple. And that's where I've seen them starting to make some growth the last couple of practices. But I just know with our length and our athleticism that defensively we could be really good. So we may be a little bit more pressure defensive type team this year because I do think we've got more depth and we can play that way.
Are you going to be a quick team? Will you run a lot?
We're going to try on every missed shot. I mean, we've got a freshman point guard out of the state of Kentucky that's he's dynamic. I'll put it like that. He's as good as I've signed as a high school freshman since I've been in the business.
Cool.
You know, he's like any other freshman. He's going to have a learning curve, but the thing I love most about him is he's a willing learner, and he comes every day. He wants to get better, and I think he has a chance to be really, really good.
Well, listen, I appreciate your jumping in like you did today when Coach Rich Rod had to leave early. You were kind enough to exit practice and get over here and join us, so I appreciate it, and we'll be talking a good bit as our season goes along.
Hey, when they want to put you in the game, you got to be ready, right?
Got to be ready.
There you go.
Good to see you, Coach.
All right, Eli, thanks,
man.
All right.
That is the head basketball coach for Jacksonville State, Coach Ray Harper. And don't forget, folks, we've got those tickets on sale now for Gamecock basketball. Season tickets for the men and the women, with the season just around the corner. You can go to the Jack State ticket office or go to the website any way you want to do it. They've even got courtside seating available for select games in a limited capacity. So do check it out. We'd love to see you at the Pete once the tip-offs begin to flow. We're coming right back with more. Don't go away. We return on the Gamecocks Sports Network.
At Southern States Bank, we pride ourselves on being your bank. We're your neighbors and involved in the community. We're the bank featuring the Southern Rewards checking account, a cashback account with no ATM fees. We are on the cutting edge and always have a smiling face to help you out. So come to Southern States Bank, where we are committed to great service and being a great neighbor. Let us be the bank for you and your business.
Hello everyone, Tony Russell, General Manager of Sonny King Ford. And boy, do we have unbelievable markdown on used cars that you do not want to miss. It's time to make the best deal on a used car. Shop our wide selection of used trucks and premium pre-owned models. Don't wait another day. Come by and see me, Tony Russell, and let's make a custom deal for you. Find great savings on pre-owned used cars at Sonny King Ford on the sunny side of the street, Anniston, Oxford.
At Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
Hi everybody, I'm Eli Gold, and I want to invite you to tune in to Jack State Live, a look at the campus and athletic department at Jack State, followed by the Coach Rich Rod Show, where we will break down and preview the next football game for the Gamecocks. A beautiful night here in Jacksonville, Alabama. 68 degrees right now. Going to be back in the 80s tomorrow. Maybe a great time for you to come and join us all over at the Pete tomorrow. We've got volleyball against Kennesaw State. That's tomorrow night. And then again on Wednesday at 2 prior to the football game. There you see the schedule upcoming here on campus for all of the sports. The Gamecock football team coming off that big road win at Kennesaw State Friday. They'll return home Wednesday. Make a note of that. It's Wednesday to meet the Aggies of New Mexico State. The Gamecocks 2-3, 1-0 in the conference. The Aggies are 1-4, 0-2 in Conference USA package action. The Gamecocks Radio Network will have all the action. Mike Paris and Ray Hammett coming up with the call. And on TV, ESPN2 with Clay Matvick and Steve Adazio. They've got the coverage coming up. We mentioned tomorrow and Wednesday, volleyball. And then everybody else in action throughout the weekend. And yes, Friday, the bowling team back in action against Alabama State. The rifle team will be shooting their way into the headlines on Saturday against Morehead State. Then more volleyball and UTEP in town for soccer. UTEP winding their time in the conference down to a precious few months, as they announced the other day that they'll be stepping out of Conference USA. But that's what we got coming up this week, and we certainly hope you can take advantage of all of those events right here in Jacksonville. Been an interesting night tonight. It's we spent time talking with Brent Langston to open up the show, the cheer coach. First time that we've had a cheer coach on the show, and we've all learned. I know I learned a good bit, and hopefully you did as well. Rich Rodriguez was with us, the football head coach, and he, of course, getting set for what's a short week with the game on Wednesday evening of this week. And now Ray Harper spending a few moments with us, the men's basketball coach, as he gets set for the season to begin in just a few short weeks. So that's going to do it. And again, we invite you to join us on Wednesday. The game is going to be televised on ESPN2, and there'll be radio coverage on the Gamecocks Radio Network for JSU and the Aggies of New Mexico State. Until we talk next time, I'm Eli Gold, thanking you for joining us. Thanks to all the great folks here at the Apothecary Draft House. And until we talk next week, good night, everybody.
Hey everybody, I'm Bill Bubba Bussey, one of the assistant athletic directors here at Jack State and the director of broadcasting. We always want you to come out to the games. There's nothing that can replace the sights, sounds, and interaction of being at a football game. But if you can't make it, we offer several options to bring the action to you. Many of the Jack State games are broadcast nationally on TV. The other home games we produce in-house and can be seen on ESPN Plus streaming platform, hosted by legendary broadcaster Eli Gold. If you're driving or have your hands full, we also offer radio coverage through the Gamecock Radio Network. The coverage you hear from the voice of the Gamecocks, Mike Paris. Mike has put you in the middle of some of the biggest and best moments in Jack State history for over 40 years. You can find more information at jackstatesports.com. And for now, enjoy the game and go Gamecocks.
What can you buy for $10? A hat? A milkshake? 166 channels plus live sports? That's right, for only $10 you can get 166 channels of classic TV shows and movies, including the latest news update from all around the world and local sports. Just simply go to 24ctn.com and click download, and then for only $10 you can have access to the best TV available.
Come out and check out the Alabama Tractor Difference. We can take care of all your needs of parts, sales, and service for RTVs, zero turns, and tractors and construction equipment. See us here in Lincoln at 620 Speedway Industrial Drive. Or come visit us here in Asheville at 275 6th Avenue, or give us a call at 205-594-7000.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I Want to Live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.